Hey, it's Mike and I'm here in The Sims 4 with a brand new Sims 4 lot building video. And I know, long time, no video, I apologize for that. It's been almost 2 years now. And you can see by the look of this build right now, I had a lot of time during quarantine, so I thought I would come back to YouTube and build something really special for you guys. And actually this build in particular started back in 2016. And I've been working on it ever since then. It's just like whenever I'd go into The Sims and have an urge to build something, I would spend 20 minutes to an hour working on this build and just chip away at it. And if you can't tell what it is currently, it is a giant shopping mall. And if you know anything about me or the videos I've made in the previous years, my favorite expansion pack for The Sims 2 was The Sims 2 Open for Business. And I've done shopping malls from The Sims 2 on to The Sims 3 and The Sims 4 now. Because I've always loved the aspect of owning your own business in The Sims and managing your own store and selling stuff, and it's been a really great gameplay style that I like to do. So this is why I'm building this right now. Now the idea for this build came from a downtown apartment block that was turned into a shopping mall, and over the years it was modernized and renovated, and stores were added and things were changed around. Now there's a movie theater and a bowling alley and a restaurant, and it just, you know, I think it really looks great in the end, and right now I'm adding in all the wall coverings and flooring and plants and windows. And one of the funny things about this build was that since it took me years to build it, basically, a lot of new building features were added to the game since then, and I had a few other really good ideas in the beginning how I wanted to build this mall. And one of those features was to have a glass ceiling over the atrium in the middle. As you see, there is one right now. But at the time, in 2016, there wasn't the ability to do that. And I was really excited the day that we finally got that update, and I basically opened the game right away, added those ceilings in, and I kept working on the build a little more and chipped away at it some more. And you'll see later on, I also start adding platforms in creative ways, because there's actually a movie theater in this build, and at first, you know, all the seats were flat on the ground, and then as soon as platforms were added to the game, I came in and fixed that up and made it look more like a movie theater with the step design, you know. So I really like it. This build has really come a long way, for sure. Now we're adding the lights. It looks great at night. And now we're moving to the front. The front is really nice because you can actually see right inside that glass atrium. And to the left there is the movie theater with the glass ceiling on top. And to the right of that is also the music store. And soon we're going to be moving inside and starting to split up the build into all the various stores and restaurants. Actually, there's one restaurant in here. It's not functional, unfortunately, because, you know, if you know anything about The Sims 4, Open for Business, or not Open for Business, Dine Out and Get to Work, you can't actually have a store and a restaurant on the same lot. It doesn't function that way. You can either have one or the other. So, of course, it functions more as a shopping mall, not so much as a restaurant, but I do have a few of those festival carts from City Living that act as like a food court, and you'll see that later on. Now we're splitting up the build into all the various shops, and it's really a big build. Now we're in the center court of the mall with the nice fountain in the center. I really wanted to make it look like a mall as much as possible, so I have the two staircases that are supposed to look like escalators. And now we're putting in the wall covering from the music store and also an Apple store, or whatever you want to call that shape that's on the wall that came from Spa Day. ATMs on the side, of course, to spend all your money at the mall. Now we're going into the food court area. Now this is where I put in those festival carts that I was talking about. Now in my playtesting of this build, I realized that they don't actually function because they are right up against the wall. So if you download this build, you will need to push them forward a little bit so that there's enough space behind so that a sim can go inside of them. And here is a classic bookstore going in now. Now in the Apple store, putting in the classic lights and flooring and the wallpaper, and now adding in the tables and the electronics. I think it looks pretty good, pretty accurate to a real Apple store, considering I don't have any of the real products or logos to put down on the shelves and whatnot. But adding in some game consoles that look like hard drives and some plants. And this is actually my favorite store in the whole build, the music store. I tried to go for like an underground grunge kind of look. I used the platforms there to elevate the guitars up. And adding in some more instruments, DJ booths and pianos, and I really like how it turned out. Going into the movie theater, another really great room or store or whatever you want to call it. adding in the like snack bar area and lobby. And you'll see in a second, we're gonna go into the movie theater and you'll see the platforms being used again with the elevated seating in just a few seconds here. There we go. Going into the actual theater right now, putting in the platforms and all the seating. I really like how this turned out. I think it looks really good. Now I'm moving into the next store here, and at first I didn't know what I was gonna do with this store. I was thinking about doing a hobby shop or a toy shop, but there really aren't that many toys in the game to put on shelves. So I ended up looking through all the packs that I didn't own yet, and there's quite a few of them since I've been out of The Sims for a while. And I went with cats and dogs, as you can probably tell now. And I like how it turned out. It's a really nice store. There's lots of cat and dog items to put in here, so it was really easy to fill it up, and I love the way it looks and the design of it. Moving into a frozen yogurt shop, and this actually does function not so much as a store, but just as a way for your Sims to hang out and get some frozen yogurt with the frozen yogurt machines that came with cool kitchen stuff. And it's a nice like pop art style build or store. And I really wanted this to act like a real mall that you would see, so I included a large department store that you're seeing me put in right now. And it looks really great. It's a 2-level store, so you're gonna see me do part 1 of it right now, and then the last level, the second level, as the last part of this build towards the end. Right now I'm adding in a cafe area with tables and chairs, and moving into the front where I'm adding the staircases in and kind of the front display when you first walk in the door. And in a second here, we're going over to the portrait studio area, which also has some small electronics like cameras and things like that that you can buy. Also tablets and video game consoles. There really aren't that many electronics in the game, so it's kind of hard to fill out a whole electronics area. Now I'm moving into the clothing section right now. The men's clothing is on the left side, the women's clothing is on the right side. Now one thing that was kind of annoying about this build was that you could only have 9 mannequins on a single lot. So I could only have 3 men's mannequins on one side and 3 women's on the right side. So I tried to use other decorations to make it look more full. I think it looks pretty good. So now we're moving into the restaurant, which is not actually functional. It's really small, but it looks pretty good. I like how the outdoor patio looks on the outside, and that's really about all it's used for, is for decoration. But I do have other restaurant builds on my channel and on my gallery page if you want to check those out and use those for your restaurant playing adventures. Now we're on the second level, putting in a bowling alley. And you can see it actually connects to the movie theater through the atrium right there, which I think looks really cool. You can kind of overlook the lobby a little bit. There's a bar in there, 2 bowling lanes, and some decorations. Pretty simple, some seating, and that's about it. And then we're gonna move into the hallway of the atrium, and put in some decorations here as well. Now what's going to be over here is the second floor of the restaurant, an arcade, and also a spa, which turned out really good. Unfortunately, I forgot to film the arcade, so you're going to see the spa being built, and then you're going to see me skipping over the arcade, but you're going to see it finished for like a split second, and you can also see it later on in the video when I do the showcase. But this looks good. I think it turned out nice. And you can see I skip over the arcade by accident. And here's the second floor of the restaurant, which connects to the outdoor patio, and then the outdoor patio has a staircase that goes down to the first floor of the restaurant. Now we're moving into the second floor of the department store, adding in these really great skylights, I guess, or overhangs where you can look all the way down into the first floor. And now we're adding in the home section. So this is all the home furniture, home furnishings. There's a Christmas section over here because it's Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. And then you're gonna see me add in a kids department with all the kids furniture and things like that. Looks really cool. I'm happy with how it turned out. Moving into the kids clothing department now. I'm also adding in a small toy area, toy department, since I didn't add the toy store earlier on in the build. And now finally going into the living room and bathroom stuff area. So all the furniture you'd put in a bathroom and a living room. And now we're getting close to the end of the video, guys. So please remember to like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more content in the future. Hopefully not 2 years in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. And please enjoy the rest of the video.